Welcome to Thoughts in a Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts on a variety of topics.
So sit back, relax, and grab your favorite drink and join us on a conversation of real, raw, and ridiculously funny commentary.
Period. Every week we do a drink of the night. Kendra, what's our drink tonight?
So tonight's drink is a little bit of a what? A mojito.
Mm-hmm.
A mojito. Mm-hmm. So how I made the mojito is, what did I do? I put in my glass. Um, I did about seven mint leaves because I was making it for two people, but it's usually cost about five. I added a little bit of I did I did an ounce of lime juice, and then muddled it so that I can get the aromas up in there, flowing up in that lime juice. And then I added, this is more of a peach mojito, so I did 1 ounce of the peach puree that we have been kind of experimenting with instead of the simple syrup, and then 4 ounces of light rum. Put it in my shaker, shake it, shake, and then garnish with mint and a lime.
Period. Cheers.
Oh, and then I topped it, with Sprite.
Okay.
Because we didn't have club soda. Which I think LaToya can appreciate because she likes a little sugar.
Yes. I was going to say, this is perfect. Nice and sweet. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what I need today because I'm going to be honest with you.
Talk about it.
So I'm a little emotionally drained today.
Okay, why you what?
So this morning, I went to a funeral for a friend of mine's, James Sims. And I don't. This kind of hit a little different because we're the same age. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing when you go to funerals for like older people who kind of live their life, and granted, he lived. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't a baby.
Yeah.
But
that's not that's a very short life.
Yeah. And so that just really, we weren't like super super tight, but we were friends. He sung at my wedding. We worked together when I was a lifeguard and teaching swim lessons. He was also a lifeguard teaching swim lessons. We sung together at church on the praise team and in the choir. So, you know what I'm saying? We crossed paths a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we were, I would consider us friends. Yeah, we were friendly. Anyway, so obviously I went and, gave my condolences and all of that. But just thinking about like, dang,
how quickly life can change.
Yes.
And I know up, baby.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago about how like tomorrow's not promised. So literally he passed the day after Easter. So this little mojito
is on it. It's on it.
It's on point. It's on point.
Giving you something.
Yes. How was your week?
The week was good. It's just been it's been kind of slow-esque at work. And so it's giving those vibes of why am I here? I could be home doing so I got a lot to do.
You feel like it's time for like a little mini vacation?
I need another one. We just came back from Atlantic City, but still.
But you didn't take any time off from work though, did you?
No. Well, I took off that Friday, but I drove up. So it's never like, you know how you go like start your vacation and then you have a couple days on vacation where you really don't have to do anything. It's like, so we drove to AC. That was 3 hours, so that's nothing. I booked him a massage, so he went and did that, and then I waited an hour for him.
Did you decorate the room?
No. I don't got time.
You were tired?
I was tired. But the room was super nice. And then after that, we went down to the boardwalk, walked the boardwalk, got us a little drinky drink, Came back, then went to Target because I didn't have like any lounge. Just kind of, I didn't want put my pajamas on, but I just wanted something to lounge around in.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then came back and went to sleep because we is not gambling. We older.
It reminds me of that meme where it's like what you think you're gonna do on vacation, and it's
And
like
then,
people having all fun,
I
and
said,
what you
well,
actually do, which is
I said,
in the
well,
bed.
I'm gonna call it, but then I'm always up earlier than him.
Mm-hmm.
So he trying to sleep in, and I'm like, we supposed to be down at the pool party at 11. Now I slept in longer than I usually do because I'm usually up by like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So it's 9 o'clock, and I'm like biting at the bit of like, what are we doing? And he just
The pool party started at 11.
yes.
Oh,
So
okay,
like,
okay.
so I'm like,
I would have left him. I would have been at the pool party.
so I was like, do you want breakfast? So I went down, ordered breakfast. They had a Starbucks in the hotel, so we stayed at Harrah's.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I got breakfast and got his coffee. So I came up with breakfast. So he ate. Then we changed our clothes and then went down to the pool party. Right. So went downstairs. I'm like, oh, I should just need my room key because I did the reservation online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, I'm always, a step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, child, didn't have my ID
Oh,
because 21 and up only.
yeah.
So then I go back upstairs to get the ID. I took his key. His key not working.
Oh, so you
So
can't
now I
get
got
in.
so
And
that,
you don't
and I
have
don't
no
have
ID.
nothing.
Mm.
So then I have to go all the way downstairs. So now we stay waiting in a 15-minute line, so that I can get a duplicate key because they had these like express things, but I didn't have my license to slide the express thing up in there. I said okay. So we both standing in line, kind of annoyed. So she was like, "Well," I said, "Well, it's my room." I said, "I have a copy of my passport on my phone, so you can at least have a picture and stuff."
Yeah.
But she ended up giving us the key. I went up, got my ID, came back down. So when I come back down, he's like, "Oh, I already gave the man your name because I paid." I said, I already paid online."
I prepaid.
And he was like, "Well, you ain't tell me that." I said, "I didn't think you were going to go in without me."
Right.
Like, I thought you was like, "All right, well, I'll just wait till she come back downstairs.
Yeah. So
we can go in together." Why are you trying to be fast?
Yeah.
What's at the pool?
He just problem solving.
I said that you could have just as easily as because you know how I am, and I'm like, this is what time this start. This what time. Did you get tickets already, or do we need to pay?
Right. He could have texted. Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds.
True.
So he was like, "You didn't say." I said, "I planned everything, and I already told you I was taking care of everything." So I would have assumed that you would have thought, "Oh."
But see, he probably is thinking that you do things the way he do things.
He know I don't do things the way he do things. He know I don't.
Because in his mind, if he said he's taking care of everything, he probably would have paid when y'all showed up.
I don't. But this is what I'm saying. He knows. First of all, he knows I don't like lines.
Yeah.
And I don't like having to like do something like if all of a sudden the price went up or whatever.
Yeah.
I told him I was online. I was like, "Oh, let me pull up the pool party," because the lady told me to go online and pay.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you that last night. You just don't be paying attention.
Right.
So you know how I am. So anyway, it was only $15
okay
a piece. So
but did they give you your money back?
No,
because you paid twice.
Because
no.
I did. In my mind, I'm like, we're definitely going to the pool party,
right?
So I don't need to put insurance on these little $30.
Oh yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm like, we was there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez. So anyway, I'm like, it's $30. I mean, we waste $30 on other things.
True.
Okay.
On worse.
It's on worse. So, and honestly, I thought it was gonna be $30 a piece,
right,
to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So I already had planned to pay the 60. Anyway, get into the pool party.
I feel like they should at least give you a free drink after they found out that you had already paid twice.
Child, them people don't care. That's not their business.
I would have said something.
Because the thing is, it's two different situations. So like you have the security people,
and then you have the online.
And then you have the online situation. Like, because he's like, you can go online and look, and I was like, I know I ain't do no. I purposely didn't do that. So
right,
it's fine. So we did end up getting a drink. The drink was expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the DJ was popping. So we was chilling for a minute and then got into the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of hanging out in the pool. Then they started playing volleyball so that he was all in the zone of the volleyball.
Yeah.
So we got there at about 12:30, 1 o'clock after we had to do all the stuff with, because I didn't have my ID. And we stayed until they closed. And they closed at 5:45.
Oh wow!
I
Y'all
was like,
spent the whole day there.
yes. I was like, okay, we need to get dressed
So
because
it was worth it.
yeah, it was worth it. Then I made reservations. I made reservations at Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse
Okay.
within here. So that day we didn't even leave. So got dressed, went there, ate, and then we had thought about going to the night party, but the lady was like, the security guard who's basically always there was like, the night party probably ain't gonna be popping. You should probably just go to the day party. So we just kind of hung out and went to bed.
I get it. I gotta.
Just came on home.
I gotta. Well, I don't have to, but I'll probably be doing the same thing this weekend. But I asked Judah what he wanted to do, and he was like, "Oh, it's Mother's Day weekend, so I'm not trying to do too much. Like, I just kind of want to." He said, "I want to get food, order food, and watch or like rent a movie." Hey, easy day.
And that's honestly because that's what they all kept asking me, like, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? And I'm like, honestly, I don't want to go spend a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's not like I would be fine if we ordered some food and I just could sleep. Like, I'll be cool with that. Like, it's not a big. He's like, well, you want to go here? You want to go? I'm like. So we're going to McCormick and Schmidt.
Oh, nice.
And Jenna was like, I was going to take you to brunch, but Dad told me that we're going to McCormick and Schmidt at 3 o'clock. Because he's like, well, you want to go such and such at 7? I said, I don't want to do any late nothings on Sunday. So then I'm going to my mom's. I ordered her edible arrangement.
Aww.
I'll pick up. And then, of course, I have some stuff I need to, because I need to go to my grandmother's house as well to see her. And I need to get some stuff for my mom's birthday stuff. So I still have a lot to do with that. And I feel like I'm being pulled
in a lot of different directions.
Because right after we do that, her birthday's that week. And then the next weekend, his mom comes into town. And so she's like, and it's her birthday weekend. And so she's like, oh, I never been to Cheesecake Factory. And you're not going.
Cheesecake ain't nothing. Y'all could do that.
But we're also taking her on the Odyssey.
Y'all could go to Cheesecake.
And let me tell you something. It be me having to plan time. And then also, he's not as, like, I have to put on. Like, she wants me to
hype it up.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm picking up my mom on Friday. I'm taking off Friday to take her to get her nails and her feet done. To go to lunch. I wore out.
Yeah.
I'm wore out. So then she leaves. And then 2 weekends after that, I got to put on again. Because we're going to North Carolina. And that next week, Janae is like, she was like, would y'all want to come to dinner with me before my birthday? And so we're like, you want to go to dinner or whatever? And so she's like, I don't know. I said, well, and now I'm thinking about it. I don't even think we're going to be able to do it. And she was like, oh, I want to go to bowling. I was like, okay, maybe we'll pay for boleros and have like a party for you. But she's trying to go to New York that weekend. And now that I'm thinking about it, because she mentioned that, she's like, oh, maybe I won't go with y'all to North Carolina because that next weekend is my birthday. So I'm like,
the dates don't line up.
I'm looking at the calendar like, oh, maybe we'll do it the weekend before her birthday. Well,
that's
we can't
when
do that.
Mom's gonna be in town.
No, that's when we're in North Carolina.
Oh, yep.
And so I'm like, well, maybe we'll do that Friday.
But then you're going to be back to, I'm doing too much.
Because if we do it that Friday, that means either asking my mom and them not to come, and maybe they'll pick up Jonathan and Joshua and Jayla, because that means because I wouldn't be coming home.
Yeah, you can't come home from work.
Yeah.
So it's something to kind of, I would bring that up to her too. Like, this is what you're trying to do, but all these other things are going on.
In my mind, I'm like, I know for like Jayla's Sweet 16, we did a big thing, and then we can for her 15th, we did the boleros and stuff. And I mean, Janae's had like hotel parties and things like that. So I was like,
and what's this, 19?
I was like, a little something cutesy. So I need to ask. And then she want her gift that she wants from us. It's for us to give her some money to spend in New York.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot going on.
And then his mom, so his brother turned 16 as well. He and Jayla about the same age in July. So she's like, I know you're probably planning something amazing for him to turn. I want to do something when he comes home. But I know you got all the good ideas, and I know you're going to make sure his birthday is special. And I'm like, okay.
Now I know you got all the good ideas.
literally what she said. And because she's like, "What are you planning for my birthday? Like the weekend I'm coming up with? So what are the plans?" And I'm looking at her son like, "What are the plans?"
And he looking at you,
And so he's like,
and y'all blinking.
So I said, I think brunch on the Odyssey. I said we could either do that Saturday or Sunday. And so I said, and then I was like, he was like, well, I know she likes seafood, so maybe we'll go to Joe's.
One of the days.
I said, well, we need to figure out which day because we'll do maybe if we do Joe's on Saturday, because her birthday's on Monday, which is
okay.
And she's not leaving until Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm like, do we do Joe's on Monday Sunday because Monday's a holiday, so we can, be out a little later or whatever. And then do the Odyssey on Saturday so that, we have the rest of the day to back off
do whatever I want to do. Yeah.
He's like, well, just let me know. I was like, do you want to? I said, well, he's like, I'm going to give you the card. So give me the card. Like, why do I got to keep asking, hello? But then she's like, well, what should I wear? And I'm like, well, brunch stuff. She's like, well, what is that? And I'm like, listen.
You got to do everything. You got to think for everybody. You got to think for everybody.
I said, you could do a maxi dress and like some, sandals or whatever. Hopefully it's good weather. So then I need to call her back and say, hey, so it's going to be like 3 nice little things. Mm-hmm. Also, like the weekend before she comes, or 2 weekends before she comes, of course it was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So are you going to get her something for her birthday and Mother's Day, or is it going to be a combined gift? Like what's that?
I feel like all these out to eats, those don't count as
and
gifts.
That's what in my mind, I think she think this is a birthday weekend.
I mean, she absolutely do.
And, for me, when I do a birthday weekend, I mean, I am out. I'm out and about.
Yeah. Like, we paid for all these meals. You ate your gifts.
You ate them up. Gobble. And then my mother, she like, I'll be back. So I said, Ma, you're not going to be back. I said, you leave on the 22nd. And she was like, okay. I said, Memorial Day weekend is the 26th. Mm-hmm. Because they've met, but they haven't like hung out because either my mom's on vacation or we're going down there.
Yeah.
So it's always a thing. And I'm just like, okay.
There'll be plenty of times. There'll be other times.
I know. We're trying to plan, because I want to do for my 40th next year a cruise. And so my mom was like, well, I don't really do Carnival, but I will. Okay.
Excuse us.
That's what I said. I said, well, God damn. She's like, but I'll come with you for your trip. And so I had mentioned it to his mom. And I was like, it's literally like $300 a month to put away. I said, this is for us getting a suite. Mm-hmm. For you and E, it'll probably be way less, maybe 15. You know what I'm saying? It came to like 6,000 for the 5 of us.
Oh, you taking the kids too? You gonna do a family thing? Okay.
I said for the 5 of us in the family suite.
Right.
So you can get. I was like, you can just get an inside room if you really want. You know what I'm saying? It don't got to be a whole big to do. But anyway, that's her business.
So you have all that going on.
I have all this going on, and I have yet to plan anything for my own damn birthday.
I don't know if because you're doing something big for your 40th, do you actually think you need to do something?
It doesn't.
Not to say that you don't celebrate, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it don't have to be a big to do. I'm just like, I'm doing all of these grandiosos
things for other people. I mean, but you got time. Like, we're literally in May. You have until August.
So. The way that these people is trying to plan my life.
But also, you could set a boundary and be like, I did what I needed to do for my mother and my mother-in-law. Everybody else, do your own thing.
But then I can't, but I don't want 16, even though he's a boy, 16 is a birthday.
I mean, and I'm normally the one that is not setting the boundaries.
I know.
So for me to say that to
when
you.
When it comes to these things, I don't have a boundary. I'd be like, okay, let me just push through.
Anyway, okay.
So, anyway. And it's still trying to figure out, like, what to do with the kids over the summer. Mm-hmm. And not just being in the house.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It is like literally, I thought about this when I was working on like, the docket, and we normally do our theme for the month. And I saw somebody posted like, there's so much going on in the month of May that it's really ridiculous. So for May, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's National Foster Care Awareness Month, Military Appreciation and Military Spouse Month, Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and Haitian Heritage Month. You also have Teachers Appreciation Week, Nurses Appreciation Week.
They
Like,
said just throw it all.
throw it all in.
Look, they like we gotta get it all done before half the year. So
Okay.
just throw everything up in there.
Not to mention graduation season, prom season, like
acceptance to college season.
yes,
all of the
it's
things.
so much going on that I'm like, wow. I didn't even realize it until I was just sitting down and kind of mapping out, our schedule and kind of when we gonna have time to record and this and that, and then just looking at all of this, and it's like, dang,
it's crazy work. It's crazy work.
So did you get to see? Now, I didn't really pay attention to it, but social media gonna tell you everything.
Yeah, it's gonna tell you everything.
Did you see like any of the Met Gala looks, and what did you think about that?
I did. I'm gonna tell you, the alternative people was alternative.
I agree.
Our people, they showed up. I'm gonna tell you who I always love.
First, before you get into that, what did you think about the theme, about the Black Dandy theme?
I like that.
Me too.
I really like that. I love when they do things, and because the board or the what are they called? Because
the co-chairs.
The co-chairs are all Black men.
Most of them, yeah.
No, all of them this year were.
Well, all of them, but Anna Winter, she's not.
No, but she's not a co-chair.
Oh, that's right. She's
the
got it.
Head of the these are the people that
Yeah.
So all of them were Black men.
Right.
I said.
Yeah, that was a nice little detail.
And I like when women put their spin on
like masculine fashion. Mm-hmm. I do too.
And because it was like tailored to you. Chef's Kiss. Sierra looked so good.
I thought so too.
Buns on her.
Yeah.
I said, Russell, get off that girl. We know how y'all doing it because the bun is bunny. All right. Tiana Taylor looked good. She always looks
she does. She ate that
up. Good. I liked Zendaya's all white. I love these hats.
Yeah.
Now the lady that had when I say she was dressed down, she had more of like
the burgundy
plumish.
Yeah. I can't think of her name, but she's a model and an actress, I think.
She was. When I say she gave the carpet everything it needed to get.
Yeah.
Then your girl Rihanna pop out with a baby bump.
I know.
How do you do? God, get off these women.
We were talking about this last week, and I'm like, Rihanna, she 38, 37 or 38?
37.
But whatever the case, they gotta pop them out because they getting older.
38.
Yeah, or she 39.
No, I think we did because we were saying she was a year. I think
they're the same age as us.
Yeah,
and then Rihanna's a year younger.
Yes.
Okay. So like they have to, right? They don't have to because obviously they have money, so like they can have babies whenever they want, but it's not without complication. You know what I'm saying? Like we can look at the Kardashian situation. Even when you have money, she still had to end up using the surrogate because at a certain point the body can only do but so much, right? So I think they just like, hey,
it's time.
Now's the time. Yeah.
It's my time. So she looked awesome. ASAP looked good. I like his gun umbrella. That was cute. Under 3,000, fine. But the piano, okay. You're carrying the music industry on your back. Ooh,
right. I didn't really care for that. You know who I did like?
Diana Ross. Was it Diana? No.
With the long white train. That was her.
And Tracy Ellis Ross was there helping up her mama.
I thought Lakeith Stanfield looked so good. I was like, yes, the dudes was really eating it
up.
They were
eating it up. I love when Black people dress up anyway.
Me too. I feel like we did that. It's so interesting, and we talked about this before. How like, y'all like it feels like society, or it feels like the people in power are trying to silence us, but with like rules and laws and things like that. But when they do that, it seems like somehow we still end up being rising above it, or being a subject of conversation, or you know what I'm saying, being put into the spotlight. It's like y'all try to push us down so hard just for us to
pop out and show niggas.
Exactly.
Certified. He said what he said because he know what he was saying. In every instance, that's how we roll.
Exactly. So then, speaking of that, Beyonce launched her tour.
Beyonce out here. Blue Ivy looks good and grown.
She does. But then you know what I had to remember? It's been 2 years.
But she looks. But this is the thing. I know I do it with my own children. I'm like, oh my God, y'all just blossomed.
Mm-hmm.
But for her, and I think the stark contrast of where she started like 2 years ago and where she is now, she's very, you can see the confidence.
Yeah.
You can see the maturity. She looks spitting image now. She's looking more and more like her mom. And so it's so crazy because she and Northwest are so different.
Yes.
And how and she is groomed well. Her stage presence, just the way she carries herself is so, I mean, just chef's kiss. Like, I don't agree with everything that, people, the tabloids and things like that. But I think that we may not know a lot about like Beyonce and the things that come out, but I can tell how much she cares for and loves her children.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can see how proud she is.
Yeah. Of
the woman that her daughter is becoming.
Yeah.
I'm just.
You're a proud auntie.
Snaps. Because she was like, her face be beat, and I'd be like, girl, wipe that off.
I know. Who told you to wear makeup?
And then she had like a little when they was sitting down, and you could see that she had a little cleave. I said, put it away. Where's her shawl? Wrap her up.
She is really coming into her own, which really is wild.
It's a wild thing.
Especially, I think, because we're watching it.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. This is the same little baby that was like sitting in the audience of the award shows.
Telling her to weigh us up. It's what she...
It's so it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see.
So super proud of that. That's cool. And I feel like she's not getting these accolades or things like that just because she came out her mom's body.
Right.
She's really
putting the work
for
in.
It,
Absolutely.
And I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. I definitely appreciate that. So
they say Beyonce's slowing down. A lot of people say it looks like she not moving as much as she used to, which. At the same time, I'm like, y'all, she 44.
This is the thing. And hopefully there was no injury, because that's kind of how it was in the beginning of the last tour, because, injury, things like that. And so now, and then at the end of the tour, she was a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's just like, also, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah. I mean, I think about like Janet Jackson and stuff like that, and, Usher and different ones that are up there in age and they still be doing it. But it's not like she's not doing nothing. She's just not dancing as hard as she used to. But I feel like a part of it is too, is she, now that she's older, is she kind of preserving her energy? Like, before I was younger, I had a point to prove and I was out there popping everything hard. Yes. Now I'm like, let me just give you a little 1-2 because I have to perform for 3 hours and I don't want to beat myself up on this stage.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't care at the end of the day.
Everybody, I'll say this, I don't, people be talking about me because I don't be listening to the album and stuff. But she give a good performance. She gonna go out there and perform for you.
Would you see her if you had an opportunity to?
No.
Why not?
I'm not paying that.
What if the price was right? What would you pay to see Beyonce?
To see a concert?
Yeah.
Period. I don't know. You know what? This is what I'm going to say. My last concert was Usher. And it's cute and all. I'm not a concert person.
I'm getting over it too. But some people, I just can't help it. Like, I paid a lot of money to see Usher. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Like, I paid more money to see Usher than I've ever paid to see Beyonce.
I did not. And, well, I don't know how much, because it was for my birthday. But I I've gone to enough concerts and I've gone to enough big venues where it's like that's not for me. Now, if it was something a little bit more intimate,
I agree.
I think that would be cool. But I don't like. I'm as I've gotten. I don't like a lot of people, and it's not the. I don't know. The vibe ain't the same.
Yeah.
You know. So
We're gonna see. I didn't get any tickets. This
they said the tickets done came down though.
That's what people have been saying. I'll look. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
And it's the other thing. I would have had to gotten tickets to an inside venue because last time 2 years ago when she was here,
it rained.
Baby, it rained.
Mm-hmm.
It rained on their heads.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know. Well, and then some, not every stadium is like ours, because when we went to Houston, they had like a little dome or like a covering. So even if it would have rained, we wouldn't have got wet.
That's what I'm saying. I would need to go somewhere where I had a covering.
Where it has a covering. Inside. Yeah.
I'm not doing the outside just because there's a chance of rain.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because then the next thing I'm gonna be somewhere sick, and y'all know I don't like to take off.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do when the 4th of July rolls around. I'm keeping my schedule clear just in case I decide at the last minute I do want to go. But I haven't bought any tickets. I haven't even looked to see what tickets are looking like. I'm also. It depends on how I feel leading up to that weekend. Now, I do have an outfit in my closet just in case I do decide to go.
To pop out and show it.
I put a denim dress from Shein just to have for the summertime, but I was like, let me go ahead and also give me a little cowboy hat just in case I decide I want to be up at the Cowboy Carter. And I don't know, I have some cowboy boots, but they're really not that comfortable. So I don't know if I would wear those. Maybe I might just like wear them for the look.
Yeah.
And then have like some slides or something that I can put on with it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll get back to y'all on that. But, okay, moving on. So I did finally see Sinners.
We did.
That's what we doing?
I seen all the clips. I seen every clip that could be clipped. You hear me? We did.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Social media has literally you could literally watch the whole movie on TikTok.
I know. If you talk about anything, I'm like, I heard somebody talk about that, so I know what you talking about. I'm prepared.
You have to see it. I know.
You're wasting your time and breath.
But as soon as you're able to get it on rented or whatever you need to do, you have to watch it because it's so good. People were hyping it up, and I'm not gonna necessarily say I didn't believe the hype, but I kept saying I gotta see it for myself. Y'all hyping it up too much. I gotta see it for myself. But when I saw it for myself, I was like, oh, okay, right, okay, I get it. I see it.
You know what though? I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna let you go through all those things, but I'm gonna say from the TikTok point of view, Black creators love it.
Yes.
White creators, ugh.
And so we can start right there, and I can tell you why it wasn't made for them.
But that's what I was getting ready to say.
It wasn't made for them.
It literally is a black.
It was made for us. Yes. It was made for us.
Ryan Coogler, he be talking like he got tobacco in his mouth, but I tell you what, he know how to do a film.
It was made for us, and in every morsel of the movie, you can feel that. And I think the people that don't like it, because there's a lot of non-Black people that did like the movie, but I think the people that don't like it have a hard time not being the center of, not being the main audience. You're so used to everything revolving around your experience and revolving around you that you cannot fathom
that somebody else has had a different experience.
Exactly. Yep. Or that we're not. So one of the biggest critiques is that it's not a horror film, right? Like some of the key things that you would find in a horror movie, it doesn't have. So I would say this, maybe in sense of it actually being scary, no, but Is it graphic? Yes. Does it have the gore? Yes. There's a few jump scares. There is a mystical element, you know what I mean? You have that fantasy element. I feel that it has all the ingredients to make a great horror movie. And then there are lots of horror movies that are not really that scary, but they still fall into that horror genre because of all of these things. I heard one critique saying that some of the plot wasn't really cohesive, and they were saying that the vampire within this movie, within this world, the rationalization of the vampire's actions didn't make sense, which I totally disagree with. And so I'll circle back to that, but everybody has said everything. If you've been on any type of social media, people have been breaking it down. So I'm not gonna kind of do that. What the one thing that I feel like people haven't been saying, and maybe they haven't. The one thing, let me put it like this: the one thing that I haven't heard was the significance of the movie being released on Good Friday or that weekend surrounding Easter, with it having such a deep religious theme. To me, I don't think that that was a coincidence. And I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about that. So the other thing that I saw this on a YouTube video, so I'm not taking credit for this thought, but Sammy, who's the main character, is a griot, and which is a storyteller, and he has this power, this ability to be able to connect with his ancestors through music, right? And I was watching a YouTube synopsis of Sinners, and the girl was saying that when you think about the hoodoo element, because there's a hoodoo element, and you think about how that's connected to tarot, and she was like, Sammy, his energy and his gifts kind of align with the magician tarot card, which I can, when she said that, it was like, yes, I can really see that connection. And I haven't heard a lot of people talking about that. And she actually was saying that a lot of the different characters, their personalities align with the major arcana cards of the tarot. I'm not really into tarot like that, but I would love to see somebody that is into tarot kind of break that down. I think that would be really interesting. And I love that they did that they brought in and they showed that hoodoo and, you know, the mojo bag and everything, you know, all of that different stuff that in the Black community, a lot of times, especially if you're traditional, like Baptist Christian or Catholic Christian, that people will steer you away from that or try to say it's evil, it's this, it's that. And then that ended up being kind of the only thing that was really able to aid them in their fight against the vampire. So I really like that. I have not heard this take, and maybe it's out there, but I haven't heard it. But I thought about this. The main villain, Remick, he's an Irish vampire. In one of the opening scenes, he crashes down and he's on fire. Now, this is during the day. He crashes down onto the porch of an unsuspecting family. He's on fire. And he presents himself as something that he's not, begging them to help him. And the first thing that came to my mind was the fallen angel. Like when the devil got cast out of heaven and came down to earth. That was the imagery that I think Ryan was trying to portray, and I caught that. I haven't seen that really talked about a lot, but
I saw somebody say that, but yes.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of a good connection. And then that made me think about Smoke and Stack, who are Michael B. Jordan's characters, representing Cain and Abel. And even in some of the things that they did and how the story unfolds, spoiler alert, with Stack turning into a vampire and Smoke allegedly dying, or at least not turning into a vampire, it made me think about the Cain and Abel situation where Cain was basically cursed, right? And Abel was like blessed. So it kind of, to me, was like a little mirror of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed all of the different religious parallels that you were seeing throughout the movie. I'm pretty sure he did that on purpose. So everything else, you know, people have gotten into.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I need to get into it, but I did want to circle back to the vampire lore, right? So somebody was saying that, well, they're vampires and you give them these powers, like they can easily bite you, they can turn you, they can manipulate you. Why haven't they taken over the whole town? Why are they centered around this juke joint? And why do they want Sammy so bad to the point where they end up being exposed to the sun trying to get Sammy, right? And so this critic was saying that that doesn't align with the powers that the vampires have. They're so powerful, they could easily just take over the whole town and build an army. Why haven't they done that, right? And also, if they're so powerful, why are they risking their lives for this one person? Like, why not let the sun come out, go hide, and then come back and get Sammy at another time, right? And so this is my answer to that. They clearly show you in the movie, if you're paying attention, that Remick sees something in Sammy that he is almost hypnotized by and enamored with. And now, sometimes you can be so powerful to your own detriment. Like, you can feel that you're so...
Yep, you've been around for so long.
Yeah, nothing's going to get me. Yep. I'm going to win. You know, it's almost like a pride thing or like an ego thing that was driving him. And he even said himself, this is a gift that I would kill to have, right? He says that in the movie. I'm paraphrasing. But anyway, so just to that critic who was bringing up the fact of like, oh, you give your vampires these powers, but then don't allow them to utilize it in a movie, and they end up, you know, getting in a compromising position. It doesn't make sense. When to me, it makes clear sense that they are after something. They're desperate. He's been around for years, and he literally said, I've been looking for this power for years. So at this point, I don't care about the whole town. I want you. Right, I want this power.
I've found the missing link that I'm looking for.
Exactly.
And if I can't have this, nothing else even really matters.
And then it's like, well, he could have hid during the day and tried again the next day. Now, what if Sammy would have got away?
And he would have gotten away.
And
because
he would have gotten
point,
away.
We already know what y'all are.
Right.
So I'm gone.
Yes, I'm going to risk everything to try to get him tonight.
Yes, I don't have time for tomorrow. See, this is the thing that happens. When people don't, like now, if this was an all-white cast, they would have fully got it and understood it. But because they don't want to...
Almost like give credit
to what it is, it's like you want to critique bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like... And if you want, first of all, if you want a movie to make that much sense, go watch a reality TV like that.
Right.
Like this is a movie specifically for. Sometimes in movies, things just why the girl running and she tripped.
Exactly, that happens a lot. Books have plot holes, movies have plot holes, TV shows have plot holes. That happens a lot. But yeah, so that was a critique that I felt like, yes, it could be a plot hole, but he kind of lays the foundation for that.
Yes.
And if you're paying attention, you can see that.
Because the music has enamored him.
Right.
So his level of being able to overthrow being mesmerized, he don't have that power. There's something about this is so alluring.
Oh, he knows what it is. He knows the history. He understands what it is, but this gift is so rare. Yeah. And he's like, basically what he can do as being a vampire is that if he turns you, whatever gifts that you have, he will have it. And so now he sees that Sammy has this gift. He knows exactly what it is. He knows how rare it is, and he wants it.
He's been around long enough.
And he's willing to do whatever to get it.
He was still walking on fire. He was trying to get it.
Right. So I felt like that was a critique that came up, and I just was like,
You're reaching.
You're purposely being obtuse, which I don't like. And then, what was the last thing that I wanted to say? Well, there's a couple more things. One, sequels, prequels, I'm here for all of it. I know Ryan Coogler has already said that's not what he wants to do, but I think if it gets big as if it keeps going on this trend of getting popular, he may not have a choice. It may be, look, The people want it. The companies are willing to spend money on it. You're going to have to make another movie.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. And then the last thing that I will say is I just really, really, really appreciate the amount of research that went into this movie. When you see all these little details that everybody's going crazy over, and then you find out that he brought in Asian history specialists to say, hey, here's an element that I have in my movie. I want to make sure that it's accurate. Projected. And he brings in hoodoo priestesses to say, we're doing this. I want to make sure this is accurate. Here's the plot. How would this work if you were really in this situation? And so we get all these juicy details and all these really unique Easter eggs, but he took the time to research it and to bring in those experts to really make it accurate. And I appreciate that.
And the thing is that I also very much so appreciate, and everybody can say, I don't see how you could see her as a sex.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that, but yes.
Let me explain something to you. Mammies were the way to go. Bigger women, that was like, there weren't a whole bunch of skinny slaves.
Now, this is a great callback to last week or to a couple weeks ago when I was saying that girl on TikTok said the man can be a fucking beast and the woman can be beautiful and nobody got nothing to say. Right. But as soon as the woman is conventionally unattractive, because it's not unattractive to us. It's not unattractive in our community. She's a beautiful woman. But conventionally, meaning she doesn't fit that white stereotype. Yes. Right? Now, all of a sudden, people questioning it.
If the young lady that Sammy was talking to, if that was in the reverse, now it wouldn't be nothing to talk about.
I think that Sammy would have caught the heat.
No, I'm just saying, man, that is the woman.
Oh,
these are the two different women. Yeah. She's not in it.
Like if she wasn't in it at all, if it
these
was
are
like
the fits.
These are like, even if she was a dark skinned woman, but she wasn't plus size and she had some of these European features.
I'll give you a pass because we are talking about during Jim Crow slavery times. Right. But that's what everybody looked like.
I mean, that is
you have pictures of women full figured cooking, what is it, wet nursing, all of the things. So like that is your average woman.
And back to my point from a couple weeks ago, we see it all the time in real life. So why is it such a shock when it's portrayed in media?
I seen it the other day.
But it's okay for these beautiful women to be with these ogres in movies. That's fine. Fiona being with Shrek is fine. Nobody got a problem with that.
Nobody, until then she turned into an ogre and it's like, oh, he probably could do better. Like, it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like, you know, we've heard that or people have been talking about that, so that wasn't on my list of things to bring up. But I totally agree with you.
And then I will say I had a conversation because of course y'all know I mean I've seen the clips and stuff, but I was talking about it with one of the young ladies at work, and she's Korean, and we had a conversation a few months ago just about how when things are going on in the Asian American or Asian and Asian American culture, and maybe Black people don't come to the rescue or don't say anything, or we actually do, but when the reverse happens, they don't say nothing, and they pretty quiet. And she was like, I said, it happens a lot. And so we were having this conversation, and so when I brought up Sinners and I told her what happened with the Asian woman and stuff like that, and I was like, it's been the history of Asian people. I'm going to eat off y'all.
I'm going to ride with you when it benefits me. And as soon as it looks like it's about to not benefit me or that I might also get hurt in it, I'm out of here. Or I'll do something to your detriment to save myself.
You got to go. So I can have a liquor store. I can have a beauty supply. I can have all of this.
I can be all up in the Black community.
In this Black community. But now, you might steal, let me fall. Like, but you casing the joint. So it just becomes a whole thing. So we were talking about that, and I'm glad they brought it up. I'm glad they brought up how the Native Americans already knew what they knew what the fuck.
Yeah.
And then they saw the hood, and they was like, "You got one time. Don't even worry about it."
I would love to get a little bit more. Like if they do another Sinners movie, I would love to get a little bit more of that storyline.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about how the Native Americans
already got into this.
Yeah, let's talk about how they got into it. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be a good story.
Because he's flying out of nowhere because his ass was getting chased.
Yeah, they weren't running from him. They were chasing him.
He flew out of nowhere because they chased his ass.
Yeah. So I would love to get that perspective, but all in all, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I've only seen it once. I've been trying to see it a second time, but as y'all heard in the beginning of the episode, we've been super busy. But I do plan on seeing it another time. I hear that it's going to be re-released in IMAX. I'm definitely going to try to get to an IMAX theater and see it in IMAX.
Because he said that's how you're supposed to say it. Is what he said. That's how you're supposed to say it. That's what he said. Oh, yeah. That's what he is saying. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Yeah,
I love Ryan, but he do talk like he got tobacco in his mouth. Like his lip is stuck to his teeth.
I know people that talk like they don't have that California accent, but I know people that talk like that.
He talks very California.
He does.
He talks
very Bay Area.
Bay Area, California.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, because you was what? And I'm like, what is he? Spit it out.
But you know what? I love that he doesn't code switch.
I'm cool with it, but I just be like, spit that gum out.
You like a church mother. Give me that gum.
Give it to me and get it from up under your lip. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate him. So Janae went with her friends. Davon took Jayla, and he's like, I think I need to see it maybe 2 or 3 times just to get the whole thing.
You have to, really.
So, but that's how they making their money, because people going back.
Yeah, but this is one last thing I want to say before we get out of here. I cannot remember the last movie I saw that had me this wrapped.
That you like,
I need to see it again.
Immediately again.
Yeah. I mean, Wicked was good, and I would have saw Wicked again just like if you were like, hey, I want to go see it, you know, okay, I'll go with you. But this one, I'm like, no, I need to see it again. I don't think I've ever been to a movie that made me feel like that.
Yeah.
And if y'all have, what movie is it?
I like that.
So if you haven't seen Sinners, definitely go and watch that. Anything else?
Not from that.
Well, guys, I think that was another great episode.
Make sure you
like, subscribe, hit the notification button, drop
get down in them comments. Let us know if you've seen Sinners. Did you like Sinners? How you feel about Sinners? And what Easter eggs did you see?
Well, we'll drink to that. We'll drink to that.